Welcome to Zen Rose Garden Behind the Scenes. Coming up in this video, can the dead hear us when we talk to them?
So join us this day.
Join us this day
For some behind the scenes talk on topics we go on about when we don't have adult supervision.
And today is a little bit of mediumship training to kind of give you some insight into our lives.
Well, we got a question. Somebody asked this question live a couple days ago. And I'm like, let's just top it up about it. Okay. So
I don't remember who, and I'm going to have to go back and find them so I can tag them.
I apologize for that.
What is up? Amy, Laura.
Hey, Laura. Oh, you guys,
yes.
we're just shooting the shit
awesome
right now.
People.
So
if you're new, consider
subscribing.
Subscribing.
That's what he's trying to say.
Click that bell, bing, 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 and you'll be good to go.
Let us know you can hear us and see us with the hashtag good to go, you guys. Okay, so
for those of you who don't know us yet,
I'm Heather.
And I'm David.
ZenRoseGarden.com.
And we help metaphysical entrepreneurs bring their unique healing skills to the world.
And that's what we do on the full time. And it's the end of the day today. And I was like, let's get on and do a live about this question we got. So, and because we were talking about it. So, and if you watch us on the regular, these hangouts are different from our YouTube educational videos. And here's the difference.
Our regular YouTube videos give you some free pro tips, really cool ones most of the time, and tell you, I just like to toot my own horn, and tell you about our signature membership groups and an academy.
AKA how we keep the lights on, pay our sushi bill, and feed 2 hungry dogs.
And a greedy cat.
And that greedy cat. These live hangouts are about getting personal because we want to take you inside Zen Rose Garden, have a little bit less structure in our lives, get inside our heads, and we want to connect with you guys and unplug, which means we'd like to ask you guys questions.
Yes, because it gives us permission to kind of let go and be a little looser, even though we're pretty loose format anyway.
Yeah, we're
so okay, Zen heads, it is time to tag up. For all of our Zen heads in Zen Ed Academy, let us know that you're here with a hashtag ZenHead for life.
If you've already been watching live, some of you've already put in hashtag laugh track. You guys are trained.
I love it. And if you're watching on the replay,
give us a hashtag replay fam. I swear I'm going to get him a gig announcing a fight one of these days. We are in Vegas. We have lots of fights, but do let us know where you're watching from.
So you can help this guy.
I'm not trying to be that ugly American in your town. So,
so what is up? Danson says, Zen Rose Garden is amazing.
I love you. That
Amy Danielson says, yes, they are. Starseed, hashtag good to go. All right, sound and audio.
Laura, nice. You caught us on a live sound and audio. It's the same thing, David.
It is?
So, yeah.
What about that video? That video though, that face though.
I'm just going to drink my water, pretend to.
So here is the question that we got from a viewer. Can the dead hear us when we talk to them?
This is not why I wore my Grateful Dead t-shirt today. I just found something that was clean because my laundry's in the...
Maybe you got a message from Grandma Dean that we'll get to later.
Okay, so
can Grandma hear you? Are you just talking to dead air? See what I did there?
God. Okay, but we do. We want to know if you have had an experience where you spoke to the dead
and they answered back.
Right, that's the key. And that answer was so clear that it could not be denied. And so, not talking about like when you had a mediumship reading or you sat with a medium, but you personally.
Right.
I want to know about it.
For all you mediums in the house, you can chime in on that one too. Okay.
Yeah.
So there is no doubt that people have countless experiences like this, ourselves included.
And for me, several weeks is like my dad.
Right.
2 months now. I think my dad passed away on July 5th, 6th. And that was like 2 months ago. But so like right after, it was kind of like busy. You know. But
here's the thing. You can have EVPs, you can have mind-blowing experiences and all of the things. And EVP, by the way, is electronic voice phenomenon. Just saying. You can have all the things, okay? But at the root, we can't tell you yes or no across the board. Nobody can.
Because the experience is yours. And you know how I feel about people polarizing. You know, it's like, you can't. It's illusion.
I mean, we like to pull our audience.
I like to pull our audience, but it's different. So you can't polarize opinions and get a right or wrong answer on subjective spiritual experience. People try.
But they just keep spinning in circles, trying to prove something that is, for the most part, unprovable to the masses. Just because you had one experience one way does not mean that that is a law.
So let me clarify what David just said before everybody gets your panties in a wad.
Get your panties in a wad, please.
Unless you go commando, then get someone else's panties in a wad. So
I'm usually the bad one.
So he rubs off on me. So it's unprovable to. I didn't really mean that as bad as it was. So let me clarify. It is unprovable to the masses. Yes. So for you personally, it's provable, right? But it's your experience. So when we get questions like this that people want a yes or no answer to, it's your experience. You know, so we can get a message for you. We can give it to you, but it's like it's your message.
And you can give like overall maybe data points that are similar or experiences that can group or cluster together that might be similar experiences, but you can't say that one person is right and one person is wrong when it comes to this kind of a thing. You just can't do it because it's subjective to each individual.
Well, here's what I kind of clarify. When you sit with a medium, you're looking for evidence. So I'm not talking about
you're watching a sunrise.
No, what are you talking? What does that mean?
When I sit with you and we watch the sunrise, I'm sitting with a medium watching the sunrise.
When you sit with the medium, in other words, when you have a session with a professional medium, there's a thing called evidence. So the medium is going to give you something evidentiary to tell you that, you know, it's kind of like, okay, I sat with a person and their friend had passed away and I got a message. I saw a young man holding a red door. This is my favorite stories. And he's like, oh my gosh, my friend just passed away. He got hit by a truck that was red and it was the passenger door. Okay, that's called a proof of identity of the message. So that's like
evidence of life.
Evidence of life. So that's like when you sit with a medium, there's those proofs of message that come through. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you personally connecting to your person on the other side and feeling like they answer back.
Yes.
That's the kind of experience I'm talking about today.
So Laura says, so true. The Academy is really helping me progress and clarifies so very much. Awesome, Laura. It is so good. Give us a hashtag ZenHead for life because I know you're in there. So hashtag ZenHead for life. Danson says, my dad passed away on July 2nd, 4 years ago. Funny thing, that also happens to be my brother's birthday, who passed away before his 20th birthday, shortly before his 20th birthday. And that was many years ago. Agreed. Crystal says, I wish I could actually hear them, but as strange as it sounds, and I forget the term for it, but I can smell them. That is clarigustance. It is the ability to smell.
That's taste. Gustus is taste. Clairolfaction.
Clairolfaction. That's there are so many different terms for this. It's either clairolfaction.
You know how I do, and you know how I like figure like clair scent and clair taste. Well, forget about all the tricky. Just
true.
That's it. Just like keep it simple because those terms can be hard to.
Clear tasting.
Clair gustance. I remember because like gustance is like about tasting the French food, right? So that's how
I thought it was gust, like a gust of smell.
No.
And then there's clair savorance, which is similar.
That's also taste. So there's. Just do taste and smell. Just do clair taste and clair smell.
Stop getting confused like us.
Because there's lots of, they're all French words.
Anyway, forgot the term, but I can smell them. It's all the same smell when I lost my son, my grandmother, and my brother-in-law.
I'm sorry to hear that. Oh my goodness.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
But I see signs all the time. Clairolfaction. Thanks, Ginger. You rock.
Because you're olfactory.
I'm an OG olfactory.
Olfactory.
Anyway, I don't hear things out loud, but when I talk to them, I can hear them in my head answer. And that's another one. ZenHead for life, especially for you, David.
That's clair
Laura,
audience.
You're awesome.
So that's clair audience when you hear stuff in your head, and there's you can hear it inside or outside the head. Yeah. So I mean, either is fine.
And if it sounds like it's actually a person talking, then it's in your head. Otherwise, I mean,
it's outside of your head. Inside your head. Technically, it's all in your head because your sensory organs register in your brain.
Right, but I'm talking about it could be a sense of hearing them, like a knowing or an awareness, but not the actual word. So if it feels like it's them talking and it's inside of your head, that's
we're gonna get into splitting hairs.
Still clear audience.
We're gonna split hairs too much here.
We've got a really cool course on it, but
because you're really talking about like clear knowing that you're hearing a sound, and we're spinning down a rabbit hole of like,
let's stop that.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
So the thing about talking to the dead is that it is subjective, personal experience. Okay.
And I'm constantly kind of amazed at how intelligent people will try to give a definitive answer to this, because I'm talking about your personal experience again, not sitting with the medium. In an experience where you, the person, have been face to face with the other side and felt, heard, seen, sensed, smelled an answer back. The answer is a huge yes.
Somebody picked up the phone.
Somebody picked the phone up.
But only you can decide the truth of that message and how real it was.
So let's say you speak and there is an answer back for you personally. You may not think you have been answered because the answer may come to you in ways that you are not expecting.
Right.
Okay. So you might not believe that you have been answered. I think this is along the lines of the person that asked the question. You might be stubborn and only want to hear the way you want to hear. Maybe not necessarily stubborn, but you're only listening and
on one frequency. Yeah.
In a small range, like to really ask a question and try to communicate with your people, you got to open that range up and expect answers wherever they happen to come in. It's not just like the simple ticker tape like you see in the movies. It's use your whole senses. I hope that makes sense.
So Crystal says, some people think I'm crazy when I talk about these things to people who don't understand. You know, that's one of the reasons that I love our Zen
Fuck
heads.
them.
Our Zen heads? No,
No.
we're awesome. That's my word.
People that don't understand.
But seriously, that's
don't
why
really, because we like some of those people.
Right, but that's why I like our Zen heads, because you can talk all this crazy in the world and nobody's going to judge you, because if they did, we're going to lay the smack down. Because it's all subjective anyway. Nobody can tell you that you're right or wrong without being maybe wrong themselves.
It's your experience.
And then Danson says, my experiences are mostly a sense of talking, but I have heard clairaudiently before. Good.
Got it.
I love your response to that. Thank you. Absolutely, Crystal. Anytime. This is just how wild and crazy we are without adult unicorn supervision.
Easy. Here's the thing. We can go from like dignified to hood in like
1.2.
1.5 seconds. So speaking to ancestors is nothing new. And it basically has given people spiritual comfort for thousands of years. And why would you want to take that away from someone?
I'm going to say hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands. It's like take tens.
Billions.
Like forever, since there were people. So
since the dawn of
since the first person lost their puppy, so it gives closure to the grieving process.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you have something like this in her ongoing quest, wait for it, to be a spiritual party pooper. Doreen Virtue recently wrote about attempting to talk to your grandma in heaven, and this is what she said.
This just spins me sideways. So she said the attempt to contact a deceased person, which is usually the purpose of receiving a message and comfort from grief. And she's talking about the process of mediumship. This is verbatim. I have it on my little note here.
Which is mediumship.
She says, demons pretend to be your departed loved one, and they give some accurate message that only you could know, and gives the demon license to enter your life at a time when you're vulnerable from grief.
Okay. So this demon, whatever this demon happens to be, just got their license, and they're hell bent on destroying your life.
I think she means permission to. You've given, by asking to talk to your grandma, you've given the demons permission to enter your life, and your head's going to spin around in the night. So demons are going to get you.
Not because you're killing puppies, but because you're innocently reaching out to someone you loved and love that has passed. You haven't done anything evil. You just miss your grandma. So
unless you and your grandma were a grandchild serial killing team duo in life, I highly doubt that you are now going to be demon possessed. Just my personal opinion, but I need to call it, because as a healing arts professional,
this is absolutely unethical.
It's a really unethical thing to say, because I mean, in my opinion, I'm going to call it out, because especially to someone who might already be suffering fear and loss, and you can really spin out in those kind of circumstances.
And basically, that is cock blocking the resolution of the grief process. Doreen and Laura says it great. She says, we love her, but do not agree. Absolutely. She has been a pivotal thing, a pivotal player in the evolution of this kind of work.
But she kind of turned somewhere,
she's off on her own path. And I I don't get it. I mean, I do get it, but I don't get it.
I do got to call out some of the stuff that comes out there, because it's kind of like, it can be damaging for people and can be really confusing, especially when it creates division. And you know how I hate division. Like I said, this is spiritual, subjective things that we experience. We all experience invisible reality, which is a reality, but we experience it through our own unique perspective, and to force that on someone else and tell them that their way of seeing the world is evil is just, I think that's not cool.
No. So I can never personally be sure if grandma's really a demon or not. Give us a hashtag demon grandma.
Yes.
Hashtag demon. My grandma, if she were alive now, would totally be a demon raising hell.
My grandma would mess some stuff.
Actually, I think she probably is right now.
Both my
raising
grandmas
hell and having fun.
I know this is really hard to believe, but both of my grandmas were Spitfires.
Boom.
One was Italian and the other one, one was French. My grandpa was Italian. One was Italian, French, and the other one was Mexican and Spanish. And they were like, I'm talking fire.
So let us know if you've ever had any demon grandma experiences, because I'm wondering where this data came from.
Right. Where did the data come from that says like more demons come through in messages than your grandma? So more often.
Instead of opening a portal from hell.
From hell.
I
think he's trying to say, don't open
a portal from hell.
Don't open a portal from hell, because you might let your grandma in,
and she'll be driving that flying saucer.
So the message gives you a sense of peace and helps you let go. More often that happens.
More often it's an actual message that brings you peace.
So I want to know if you've got actual scientific data points about how many demons have come through pretending to be grandmas.
Yes, Doreen, we are calling you out.
But I want to know.
Give us the data.
Okay, on a serious point, I know that my kids have felt messages or feelings of comfort from their grandma. So I have with my grandma, both my grandmas, and those messages got me redirected at a pivotal point in my life in the positive direction.
Yes.
So
there are several possibilities that you can look at if you're talking into the emptiness of space, hoping that somebody's going to pick up the phone.
Okay, now these are fun. Okay, so we just kind of like chopped it up this morning. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Well, what are some possibilities other than that's the actual person?
Yeah, we're going to run down these pretty quick, so kind of keep up or go watch the replay.
Okay, number one is they answer you, and it is a real message from the real person. Okay,
right. Then we've got the answer is just a reflection of your mind feeding back to you the information that you need to heal your soul and get back to living.
Number three, I mean, we like ran these down today.
Yeah.
So number three, nobody answers because no one is there, because we all go poof when we die.
Yeah.
That's kind of depressing.
Maybe you get no answer because your relatives hate you and they're never going to answer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty hardcore.
That sucks for you. But number five, your question, this is my favorite one we came up with. Your question is sent into the giant bioelectrical grid that surrounds our planet called the collective unconscious. It is processed and sent back to you as a holographic response that helps you become a better citizen of the whole unit that is the Earth. That answer is kind of sci-fi, but my nerd self kind of likes it. I'm like, that's an interesting theory.
You are too emotionally clouded to hear and understand an answer. Or if they answer, it is a demon and not your grandma.
So, we're not
saying no.
I'm not saying absolutely not to the Doreen Virtue answer, because I would my dad taught me to be a scientist. Okay. So number 8 is your grandma's supernatural answering machine on the other side, because you called, but she is vacationing with a couple of hot cabana boys on Venus, because I'm thinking that's what I would be doing. Right.
And I couldn't fault you for it.
Right.
Or your grandma is a demon. Okay. In that case, you're clear either way, because you don't really want her to answer back anyway.
Well, or you're like, then you're also a demon, and it doesn't really scare you that your grandma's a demon, right?
Gotcha.
Like your grandma's actually a demon.
Yeah.
Okay. All I know that is, if you call my grandma a demon, them's just fighting words, and we're going to have to talk about that.
Because personally, if I want to talk to my grandma, or if I want to talk to my dad, if I want to talk to my brother, if I want to talk to my mom, whomever it is that has passed, the answer can come in for me however it does. The big question here is, does the answer help you move in a positive direction? Does the answer help? That's the big question.
Here's like a quick wrap up for this, that I know my dad, and I always tap into my dad's wisdom, and he taught me a lot of great things. And he always said, by their fruits you shall know them. He said it kind of biblically, by their fruits you shall know them, which means if
they
the
bring
apples, if the apple's good and it's
Oh.
juicy and it's great, like the message is fantastic, then it's a good source.
So not like the type of fruit they bring?
No, like if
so
it's
if they
like,
bring bananas, they're just clowning around?
well, if you're allergic to bananas, then maybe, but I'm just saying, look at
That's
what
just being a dick.
you can be kind of a dick sometimes.
Okay, so
seriously, so guys,
Nancy, good to see you. Hippie
Yes.
chick Barbie, what
Yes.
is up? Yes, stranger, we're doing good. You did just catch the tail end of the live. But definitely go back and watch it. There's some really funny
show. And so remember, guys, remember that twice a week here on YouTube, we are at Zen Ed Academy teaching our weekly lessons twice
to our
weekly.
members. So if you miss us, you're going to know where we are. We are alive. A demon grandma has not come to eat our soul.
We have not been sacrificed to the demon gods.
And we will be back to chop it up with you, our YouTube fam, faster than my geography.
Or 2 shakes of a unicorn's tail after he's pooped rainbows on a carpet.
Ooh, just get some rainbow carpets. Nobody will ever know.
So guys,
if you like this video, hit that like button.
Hit the like button. And if you have any insider stuff you want to know,
or stories,
our stories, let us know in the comments below for our afternoon. Who knows when we come on lives.
Mm-hmm.
And we would love to hear from you and to hear your personal stories.
And to tell you our personal stories. And for more live hangouts, behind the scenes secrets, and mind hacking pro tips,
be sure to subscribe.
And click the bell to turn notifications on.
So you're the first to know
when we drop a new video.
You almost dropped my face. Or go live.
And we know that time is a valuable and precious resource, and the fact that you guys have chosen to spend that not only with us, but most importantly for yourselves, leveling up your skills, leveling up your life. Thank you guys. We honor that. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
We'll see you soon.